What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today in this video we're going to talk about 9 mega cap stocks in this video. But before we get started, please hit that thumbs up button. That is greatly appreciated and that really helps out with YouTube algorithm. And if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, 3 days of live trading in my Discord, definitely check out the Patreon. I'll leave a link down below in the description. And if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Tesla stock is down 1.16% and Tesla again holding above 240 to 241, holding this support even today, getting down to 241 and getting that strong bounce all the way up to almost 250 and then pulling back because market was also pulling back today big time. Tesla again holding 241 at the end right before closing. So this is going to be a key level to watch. And now that we got this lower Bollinger Band actually moving up, sitting close to 238. So this is going to be a strong level to watch right here between 241 down to 238. And only if that gives up, you're going to see a lot more selling on Tesla and possibly coming down and filling this gap at 217.58 and also will retest this trend line right here on Tesla. Now to the upside, Tesla needs to break 250.86, 252, and if that happens, you're going to see a quick trip all the way up to 258.72 to even the gap on top, 262.46. On Microsoft is down 1.70% and look at what happened when Microsoft actually broke this support 316. This thing came all the way down to this support around 310.50 and then finally we saw a bit of a bounce at the end and closing at 312.14. And now tomorrow, guys, you gotta watch this support on Microsoft. Also getting extremely oversold, trading below lower Bollinger Band, sitting at 313.65, also leaving a gap on top, open today from closing last night at 317.54. I mean, you can see that on shorter time frame. Look at this gap, 315.95. So on Microsoft, definitely watch out for a bounce. If we can hold this support right here, 310.50, you're going to see a bounce back up to 316, and only if that breaks, there's going to be more upside on Microsoft up to 317.40, 5-day moving average right here, and then a quick trip up to 320 and possibly up here at some point around 330. Until then, watch this support down here, guys, 310.50, because if that gives up all over, you're going to see a big dump off all the way down to 300 on Microsoft. On Amazon, stock is down 4% and this thing got decimated today all the way under the support 126 and barely holding this support right here, because if that gives up, the next target on Amazon all the way down here at 118. Now it's getting really oversold, but you cannot ignore this bearish engulfing candle right here on Amazon from today. So Amazon can hold right here 126. Watch out for a bounce at least back up to 130. And that is this 5-day moving average right here, blue line sitting at 130. Above 130, more upside back up to, I would say, 132. And then the gap above 135.20. Now Amazon cannot hold and we see a gap down tomorrow below 126, already trading under 126. So tomorrow, Amazon cannot hold 126. The next stop, long way down, all the way down here at 118. On Google, stock is down 2% and Google getting all the way down to 128. It was getting extremely oversold and then we saw a bit of a bounce here on Google stock back up to 129.45 and it's getting really oversold. Trading below lower Bollinger Band, sitting at 130.33. So tomorrow, guys, on Google, you got to be careful. I mean, yes, we could see a bounce back up to at least, I would say, 131.58. And now that it's trading below 130, we also have resistance at 130. So Google can actually break 130 and then 131.58. You're going to see a run up all the way up to 134.52 to close this gap on top. Now also keep that in mind, and I said it before, we got so many gaps on Google down here to fill. and one down here around 123.69, which is not too far away from 129. So Google stock stays under 130. Definitely the next stop, you're going to see Google slowly but surely will come down and fill this gap at 123.69. Now, if you're a new money short, I would not be shorting Google stock here. At least wait for a bounce. I would wait for a bounce back up to 134.52 if that happens. Otherwise, I'm not shorting right here, especially when the market is extremely oversold and Google stock already trading below lower Bollinger Band on this daily chart. On Meta, it's down 0.62%, and if you look at the market, all the other mega caps are selling off, but Meta holding strong and again going back up to 300, getting rejected, coming down to 296, and pretty much closing close to 300 at the closing. So Meta can actually break and hold 300 tomorrow. You're going to see a quick trip up to 305 and then possibly will retest upper Bollinger Band sitting at 309 and then 316. Now Meta cannot get that breakout above 300. Now we have support down here 292 and then 290, and only if that gives up, I don't see it this week, Meta can come all the way down to 276. On Apple, stock is down 2.34%, and Apple now trading below this critical support 173, and looks like Apple heading down to 170, and that is going to be the next stop, and then the gap below 167, and that's going to be a big opportunity to buy this dip on Apple stock. And I know there is a lot of fear in the market right now. People are running for the door again, but trust me guys, I have seen it for the last 19 years. I mean, it happens all the time. You see a dip in the market and you run, and guess what? That is when I pick up all those dips and I sell when the market is going higher. I'm not scared of a sell-off whenever that is happening in the market just giving you a nice juicy opportunity to buy those dips on big companies like Apple, Microsoft, Meta, whatever you can get. Only big companies. I'm not saying go buy Neo or something cheap penny stock. Definitely big companies, they always will recover and your money will come back if you can do the investment the right way and you know exactly what you're doing. Your money will always come back. But that's just my game plan to buy Apple here, and I think maybe tomorrow, if there is a bounce, I'm not going to open any position, but if this thing's selling off even more down to 170 or below, I'll definitely open a position on Apple, and that's gonna be long. Now today, completely I sold my position 175 puts. When in the money, over the money, it was really big, holding some runners on Apple that I got in at 179, and now it's below 175, which was my strike. So Apple now tomorrow, you wanna watch 170 and then the gap below 167 as a support. To the upside, now Apple will find strong resistance right here at 173, and above 173 we also have resistance at 174.45, 176 13-day moving average, and then Apple can clear 177 right here at some point. Then you are going to see more upside back up to 180, and then the gap above 181.47. On Nvidia, stock is down 0.74%. So today I actually got Microsoft, and that one really didn't pay today. So I'm just holding a small position on Microsoft. But also, when I saw Nvidia rallying all the way up to 425 and then even higher, 428, bought some puts on Nvidia, even though I'm holding some puts long term on Nvidia stock, and those are already up. I actually took some puts right here to recover some of the losses from Microsoft, and this thing actually paid really good today. As you can see on my screen, came down to 418 before closing, and then I took some profit and also holding some runners on Nvidia as a hedge going into tomorrow because I got some calls on Microsoft. So whenever you see market coming down and something like Nvidia going up, Apple coming down, Microsoft coming down, SPY coming down, triple Q is coming down, and this one going up, that means what? You gotta protect your account. by buying and shorting puts right here on Nvidia, and this is exactly what I did today, and this one really worked out nicely at the end. Now on Microsoft it was getting oversold, so that is why I took some calls, and I think we might catch that rally back up to at least 320 on Microsoft if we get a bounce tomorrow. So on Nvidia, guys, I mean, it's below 420. I mean, look at this candle. You think this is a bullish candle right here? Look at this rejection. This thing sold off. It was green, almost close to 429, and the complete gain here on Nvidia was erased, and now it's down below 420. So now the next support, there is nothing here. There is no support here. There is no volume here on Nvidia. The next support, this thing will be landing at some point down here at 400, and then the gap below 395, and I'm waiting for that, especially on my long puts, to take some profit on Nvidia. Now if this thing bounces, this thing has to bounce at least 60 bucks, then my position might be going red, especially my long-term position on Nvidia, which is 400 puts here on the stock. So this thing has to bounce strong, and then I mean anyway I can get out for at least 50% profit, if not 20%. So I'm just keeping my puts and hoping for the best that Nvidia will come down here. Look at Apple getting down to almost 167. It's gonna get there at some point. So Nvidia, I think it's going to get here at some point, 395, and my puts will definitely pay, and it's gonna be over 120%. So that is why I'm holding, guys. Now Nvidia, this critical support lost today right here, not holding anymore, and looks like it's holding 418, because look at this 5-day moving average right here, blue line sitting at 418. So that's gonna be a level to watch tomorrow. 418 can hold and 420 can break, then you're going to see a quick trip up to 429 to 430 to retest this trend line right here on Nvidia. And then we also have resistance at 436, 451, 56, 460. Now below 420 and Nvidia breaks below 418, 5-day moving average right here, you're going to see a quick trip all the way down to 400, and then the gap below 395.30. On AMD, it's down 1.46%, and AMD barely holding $96 as a support right here, and looks like it's going to break. And if that breaks right here on AMD, the next stop definitely right here at 89, and I'm looking to buy some more shares of AMD right here at around $89 if that happens. And definitely you're going to see more upside later on, maybe another year, AMD going back up to 115 or even higher, guys. So right now it's on a downtrend, and these are buying opportunities, and not where you turn your back and you show your back to the market. If you do that here in this market, when the market is going up, guess what's going to happen? FOMO, and people are going to chase right and left, buying Nvidia at 480. But now AMD coming down, giving us a nice dip around 95. Maybe we'll go lower down to 89, and who knows, we got some unfinished business down here on AMD, some gaps. So if that happens, AMD fills some of these gaps down here. These are gonna be great opportunities to buy shares and hold long term on AMD. So I only got 200 shares of AMD, and I'm looking to buy a couple hundred more if this thing actually dips around 89 or anything below 89. I'll be buying some more shares of AMD. Now to the upside, watch out for the resistance right here around 97. So far getting rejected again by this 5-day moving average right here, blue line. And above 97, a quick trip up to this gap possible right here at 100.28, and that's gonna be a resistance to watch for more upside. Now AMD cannot hold 96, like I said, then the next stop all the way down here at 89. So keep an eye on AMD tomorrow. If there is no relief rally, no bounce on AMD, and AMD not going up to fill this gap, you're going to see more downside down to $89 on AMD. On Netflix is down 1.44%, and this one getting down to 377, almost touching the support 376, and now trading at 379.25, just holding above the support 376. Now, if this support gives up on Netflix, definitely, I mean, this thing is getting really oversold, but this sell-off can continue below 376. The next stop, look at this Bollinger Band coming down and pointing down to 363, and then the gap below 341.38. So Netflix, this is gonna be your risk level right here. If we are going in, this could be a nice opportunity, but watch the support 376. Now also to the upside, it needs to break 383. Blue line, 5-day moving average right here. And only if that breaks, you're going to see a quick trip up to 400. And then we can talk about more upside. Until then, guys, I don't see any big bounce coming on Netflix in the short term unless we get that breakout above 5-day moving average right here, and that is around 383. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated tomorrow night.